were writing applications in DBase in the late 80s. And it was the first part, it was the beginning of the networking wave where PCs could actually start to talk to each other. So we had mainframes, we had microcomputers, and now PCs were in the marketplace, and Ray Norda and Bill Gates had figured out how to get them to talk to each other, and all this stuff was happening, and we were creating these DBase applications. And before you know it, we had like 7 or 8 people that and we were paying them out of our own bank account. And I was like, you know what, we're going to end up in jail. The IRS is going to put us in jail. And we have to form a company if we're going to keep doing this. And that's exactly what we did. We formed a company, and then we were open to the universe. Like, stuff just started to happen. We became the first Novell authorized certified network engineers in New York.
Oh my God, back in the days of Novell networking. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And like, we did this stuff, and this company grew, and then we started, then it became more about security, and we started working for bigger and bigger companies, and so it was just a really, really cool time. And then I started another company, and then I said, okay, I got to go get some big multinational experience if I'm going to, grow up and be a powerful businesswoman, which is sort of was on the agenda. And so I went to work for an IBM Regional C reseller, and then I went to work for Oracle, and then I ended up right back in the startup world as a
Let's face it, the startup world's more fun, isn't it? Because we can influence and change and infuse ideas and make things happen a lot faster.
Yeah, I'm just the kind of person that I need a lot of stimulus to keep me excited about what I'm doing. And I can't be doing the same kind of thing every day. It just isn't that exciting to me. And I'm lucky enough to, I guess, be a risk lover, so much so that being on the cutting edge of startups is it's comfortable for me. It's not scary at all. Yeah. And I've had some good things. I've had some companies not materialize. That's also happened. But I know that the next evolution is right around the corner. So and in fact, with the bank, I'm going to be finishing up my startup launch phase, which was extraordinarily successful. We think we've had one of the most successful launch PR campaigns from like ground zero. Wow. Nobody had ever heard of us on the 25th of September, and on the 26th and 27th of September, something like, I can't remember the exact figure, but we generated like $17.9 million worth of publicity value in 24 hours.
Wow.
In the PR campaign that we ran for the launch of the bank, and it just kept growing after that. In the first,
thank you, how powerful PR can be if it's done properly, that's for sure.
Yeah.
In the first 90 days, we touched 1.3 billion people with the PR campaign that we ran. I mean, it was wildly successful. And that's the kind of stuff that I absolutely really love. And then the sort of maintenance every day, PowerPoints for the CEO and things like that. I'm just not excited about that. So I gotta stay on that cutting edge. It's just part of who I am. So
what do you do next?
So off the back of this PR stuff, I'm pondering kind of, not a PR agency, because again, you sort of get in that sort of long-term, maintenance thing. But I think maybe like a company that launches, blockchain. So I've got the startup experience and I've got all the marketing experience. So I think it's going to be something around a company that launches. And I really want to stay in distributed ledger. I'm such a believer in where this world is going with this technology. And I used to give talks 20 years ago at Oracle, and I used to say, the problem with databases is that they can be erased. And until we have technology that is not manipulatable by a human being, we're sort of stuck in this loop of not being able to make some progress, and now we've got that. And so, I just feel like this is my time, and so I want to go out there and help a whole bunch of really young, excited people with brilliant ideas to get their ideas out into the world. And I think that's where my next focus will be.
So, go ahead.
You mentioned that you went to work for Oracle because you wanted to get that corporate experience to help you become a powerful businesswoman. Has your time at Oracle now helped you further along in your startups, or was it better beforehand when you were working at them without having that corporate experience?
That's a really good question, because I went to Oracle. I was head of business development for the internet sales division in 1998 in Europe, where, in Europe, the internet was, 1998 was like 1993 in the United States. And so I kind of found myself in startup mode, but in this multinational. And I went to my boss, amazing man by the name of Eric Dufault, who went on to become CSO for SAP Worldwide, and just a truly inspirational guy. But he kind of gave me free rein, and I went to him and I said, you know what? I said, you want me to market over the internet across 44 countries. I have this idea for an online application that would allow me to create a campaign in English. We could create 14 copies of it in URLs, which now we call landing pages, but it's 1998. And I said, and we can do banner advertising, and we can use the URL to actually measure the number of people that come from banner advertising to our landing pages. And then we can get all of our telesales people to get a bunch of email addresses, and we can start an email database. And lo and behold, when I was at Oracle, I conceived of one of the very first marketing automation platforms on the planet, and my boss gave me the funding to go and start this, to have this piece of code developed so that we could run those campaigns, and we called it the electronic sales framework, and it ran for 4 years. It ran for 4 years, and it generated, in the first quarter, it generated, I think, something like $4 million worth of sales for the internet sales division in 1998, which it was actually huge at the time how successful and how big it was. So even though I was in this giant company, I had this great boss who let me do what I wanted, and so I still found myself in that sort of startup.
Yeah. Wow.
It was cool. It was really cool.
I'm going to ask sort of last question of the episode here, because I mean, we're unfortunately don't have all. You're so interesting, because I think we could probably sit here for hours just asking you questions. I'm so fascinated by you. But I guess the thing, because you were talking about working with younger people. So if you were to say to women who are listening to this in particular that want to start a career in technology, or have started but maybe are facing challenges, and there's biases and there's challenges to make it, sometimes. What would you say to women that are listening or watching that say, I want to get into crypto, I want to get into blockchain, I want to get into technology. How do I get started? What should I be doing? Are there any tips or tricks you could give them?
So I would, of course, say go for it. I would say deep dive and study the technology, get to know what it is that this whole movement is about and how it's going to make a difference. I would say reach out to people like me I mean, women are, we're really good at supporting other women. The problem is women don't usually reach out. And so, I would love it if 100 women out there reached out to me and said, I have this idea, will you talk to me about it? Will you give me some advice about it? But women, we don't ask for help very often. So I would encourage people to seek out people, programs, mentors, things that can help you kind of start your journey. And I've been around a long time. I've been to a bunch of women's things where I hear about the glass ceiling and all this stuff, and I can tell you, I've never encountered it. If I wanted to get somewhere and I wanted to do something, I just did it. And for the most part, I was really well respected for it. And so if people start moaning about this, thing, and I know women are paid less, but you know what? We also take more time off. We get to have babies. Like, I just think it all comes out in the wash at the end of the day. And so I would say go for it. Put your heart into it. If you really want to make it happen, find the resources to make it work for you.
That is such great advice. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great way to conclude this episode too. I know we wanted to talk to you as well about your venture and talking about curves and what you've been doing. So maybe we should just do a follow-up episode with you to talk to you about some of the other things you've been doing outside of the work you've been doing in the bank and the work you've done in Oracle, because there's so much more here. And if that's okay with you, we'd like to have you come back for a follow-up episode in a couple of months. And,
no problem.
And find out what have you gotten into next, and what mischief have you started, and what new problems have you created, and what new things have you solved? Because I have a feeling there's going to be something new to to hear from you the next time we speak.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. Well, on behalf of Yuri Cataldo and myself, Steve Good, thank you, Morgan, for joining us today on the Coin Chat. And thanks, everybody, today for listening in, for watching. Don't forget to give us a subscribe or a like, or, of course, ring the little bell on YouTube. And thanks, everybody. To the moon. Until next time. Thank you for joining us today on the Coin Chat. Join us on Telegram on t.me/thecoinchat, where we discuss a range of topics on cryptocurrency. And visit us on patreon.com/thecoinchat for show notes, outtakes, and previews of additional content. Or follow us on our website, which is www.thecoinchat.net. And remember to like and subscribe to us on your way out. To the moon. Until next time.